Hello and welcome to a tutorial for the 1 by 1 by 1 right purl cross. I will show you first with the cable needle and then without. I've worked up to the 3 stitches in question. We've got a knit, a purl, and a knit. And what we're going to do is slip the first 2 stitches to a cable needle. Let me just pick that up so it doesn't drag and make noises for us. So we've got 1, 2 to the cable needle, and then we'll perform the little bit of magic that is slipping this to the back on a very small swatch. Alright, so then we knit the first stitch, and then it's important to bring the yarn to the front. Then, and one note, when you're working with cable needles and very few stitches on the cable, you're going to want to make sure that when you've got this, that it hasn't accidentally sort of flipped around on you and twisted the stitches. So make sure that they lay the way you want them to. So the first stitch here on the left is a purl, and then we've got our knit stitch. And we need to put this purl back on the left needle. So I'm going to slide them along the edge of that cable needle. And then I'm going to use my left needle to just pick it up and put it back on that left needle. This third stitch is just going to dangle in the back. And the reason we needed to bring the yarn to the front was because we now need it in the front to purl. So now we purl, and then we can slip it to the back again. And then we don't have to do anything with this third stitch in terms of putting it on a needle. We can just knit the stitch right off that cable needle. So we now have a knit, a purl, and a knit, and the front stitch is leaning to the right, and that's what makes this a right purl cross. Let's do that again without a cable needle. And the first thing we need to do is grab the stitch farthest from our needle here, farthest from our left tip. So the third stitch in, we're going to grab from the front. We're going to slide these up and we're going to pinch them. Then we will pull the needle out, and by pinching them, we've now made it so that those loops aren't going to go anywhere. And we are going to pick them up with our left needle tip. But that purl needs to come next. If we were just to rearrange things, it would go knit, knit, purl. So what we need to do is we need to get that purl next. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take our right needle tip and we're going to insert it through the second stitch on our tip here, the purl. We're going to pinch, slide the left needle tip out, pick up that stitch, and then we will put these 2 stitches back on. When we work without a cable needle, we rearrange the stitches first and then we work them. Whereas when you're using the cable needle, you're both rearranging and working them simultaneously. So we would knit, purl, knit, and we've got the exact same thing. We've got our 3 stitches with the cable leaning to the right. I hope that helps. Happy knitting!